How's it going, people? It's Charlie, and welcome back to another video on the Chatting Footy Show YouTube channel. Hope everyone's doing all right today. It's that time of the week, guys. It's time for your Premier League roundup show for the fixtures that have just happened over the weekend in the Premier League. Just before I get into that, guys, as always, please smash that like button. Please subscribe if you're brand new to the channel as well, and let's get into it, guys. So up first was the game on Friday night between Southampton and Leicester, the game finishing 1-1. A result that did shock me, if I'm honest, as I expected Leicester to take all 3 points in this one. But, you know, from their point of view, I guess it's still a good point away from home, and they maintain their place in this season's top 4. And it'll be really exciting to see how they get on in the Champions League next season. As for Southampton, as I said, I did expect them to lose this one, but I think, you know, they are safe. They've got naught to play for. Let's hope that they can just maintain some good form until the end of the season so they can kick on and have a better season next time out. And the first fixture of Saturday, guys, was between Palace and Man City. City winning 2-0 with goals from Aguero and Torres. As expected, really, for City to get that away win, even though they did rest a lot of their usual 11. But that's for obvious reasons with the PSG game happening tonight. And let's hope that they can get through that and get to the final. As for Palace, I mean, they aren't great, are they? I mean, a lot of players are out of contract this summer, so is Hodgson, the coach, as well. So there could be some major developments at Palace this summer. I think they'll go down next season if the right decisions are not made. They rely way too much on Zaha for me, even though I think he will go at the end of the season. Where to, I don't know, but I expect major changes at that club at the end of the season. And the next fixture, guys, was between Brighton and Leeds. Yes, Brighton beat Leeds United by 2-0. The least said about that game, the better. But if you would like to hear my thoughts on that awful performance from Leeds, the link for my post-match video on that game is in the description below, so go check that out. And the next game of the weekend, guys, was at Stamford Bridge between Chelsea and Fulham. Chelsea beating Fulham by 2-0. Both goals coming from Kai Havertz, which will do his confidence a world of good after a fairly average first season in the Premier League. Let's hope he can kick on next season and have a better season next time out. As for Fulham, you know, they aren't officially down yet, but they pretty much are. It's a shame for Scott Parker. I do like him, and you can tell by how they have played in certain games this season that they are trying, and they have picked up the odd result, but they're just not good enough again, are they? I think they need to make serious changes in the summer with regards to their team. I think Parker deserves to be the coach still, as he's done wonders for them in getting them back up and everything. But in terms of players, they need to bring in some really good players and hopefully have a good championship next season and get back up to the Premier League once again. And the final game of Saturday's fixtures, guys, was between Everton and Aston Villa. The game finishing 2-1 to Aston Villa. I expected this one to be the other way around, actually. I fancied Everton for a 2-1 win here. But fair play to Villa for getting that win. I mean, I still think they lack certain aspects to their game without Jack Grealish in the team. But as I said, fair play for them to go into Goodison Park and getting that win. As for Everton, I mean, they've been very hit and miss. I mean, a few people expected them to get top 4 at the beginning of the season because they started off so well. I didn't fancy them for top 4, but I did still expect them to be floating around the 5th, 6th area. Hopefully, if they make the right changes this summer as well, they can push on and push for a better European spot next season as well. And the first fixture of Sunday's games, guys, was between Newcastle and Arsenal at St James's Park. Arsenal getting the 2-0 win over the Geordies. Deep down, I did expect this. I know I fancied a draw in this one originally, but I think Arsenal, as much as they're not having a great season by their own standards, they were expected to win this game, and that they did. As for Newcastle, I mean, they have picked up some good results of late, but for me, how they're staying in this league is an absolute joke. Steve Bruce is probably going to get a new deal at that club, which he does not deserve at all. Yes, I know I've said they've picked up some good results of late, which they have, but still the brand of football is just awful. And for a club like Newcastle, they deserve a lot better. Let's hope that the fans get what they want and get Bruce out of that club and get a good manager in who can hopefully take them to that next level next season. And the next game that was due to take place was between Man United and Liverpool at Old Trafford. As we all know, that game did not go ahead due to protests on the pitch at Old Trafford from the Man United fans aimed at the Glazer family who own their club. They've hated the Glazers pretty much since they took over at their club, and I think this Super League shit recently has just tipped them over the edge even more, and they want change, and rightly so. I think if it had been Leeds, I think it would have been much worse scenes outside Ellen Road if it was Leeds, and thank God it wasn't. But rightfully, that game did get called off just due to safety concerns, as you can imagine. You know, there was a lot of trouble outside the ground as well and outside the Players' Hotel. A date for the rearranged game hasn't been confirmed as of yet. And the final game of Sunday's games, guys, was between Spurs and Sheffield United. Spurs winning this game very comfortably by 4-0. A Gareth Bale hat-trick and Heung-min Son with the goals there. As expected, Sheffield United trash and have been trash all season and rightfully should go down. That might seem harsh, but it's just facts. I do hope, though, on the other side of that they do get a good coach in at the end of the season who can bring them back up next season so they can have a good championship season. If the right choice is not made, I can see it being a very long road back to the Premier League for Sheffield United. I just think, you know, they have got some good players on that pitch, but they just don't seem to be working well, and they have missed their fans this season. But they rightfully will go down. But as I said, let's hope they can get an experienced coach who actually knows what he's doing and can get something out of these players and get them back up next season. On to the first of last night's games now, which was West Brom against Wolves, which finished 1-1. Really glad that I didn't watch this because it sounded awful. Both teams have had awful seasons for different reasons. West Brom, obviously, first season back up, and it looks like they're going straight back down, which is a shame because, again, I think West Brom have got good players as well. It's just Bilic and now Allardyce have just not had a clue this season. As for Wolves, again, Wolves have got a really top squad. I just think certain aspects of their game have been missing this season. I know they've had players out at various points, but by their standards, it's been an absolutely awful season. But let's hope they can rebuild this summer as well and be more competitive in this league next season as well. The final game of this weekend's fixtures was Burnley against West Ham, which finished 2-1 to West Ham. West Ham did survive an early scare from Burnley after Chris Wood gave Burnley the lead from the penalty spot. But 2 goals within the space of about 10 minutes from Antonio gave West Ham their lead, and they hung on to that lead and got the 3 points. It's going to be really interesting to see who gets this 4th spot at the end of the season. I think it's very much still up for grabs between Chelsea, West Ham and Liverpool. Liverpool probably less likely out of the 3 at the minute, given the points gap, but it's a straight shootout between Chelsea and West Brom. West Ham, not West Brom. If West Ham get Champions League football, that'll be an unbelievable achievement for them. But to even get Europa League after the season they had last season is an amazing achievement as well. And David Moyes should be really proud of the job that he's done there this season. So then, guys, that concludes this week's Premier League Roundup show. Hope you've all enjoyed it. As I said at the beginning, please smash that like button. Comment your opinions on this weekend's fixtures as well. And most importantly, please subscribe if you're brand new. It's free and it takes 1 second just to click that subscribe button, and it really helps me out. So please get on board, and I will see you in the next video, guys. Thank you.